the Silverback.
This is how we do this. All right. Once again, figuring out all the technical details as we continue on into this unusual little trip we call S.F.V. I am the Silverback, and you are listening to Full Volume. And you may be wondering what exactly it is that the gorilla is up to this week. And in case you didn't catch that very brief intro of me pouring myself a drink into this charming Shack cream soda can, that would be me in full-blown I don't give a fuck mode. And I just don't give a fuck because the reason for my existence apparently is to serve others, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more during the show. And in the meantime, playing once again a full-blown metal track list of songs that I find apropos to the days and times that we are currently experiencing. I sound a little hollow. Maybe I've got too many mics up here. How about that? Ooh, that's a little better. Oh, yeah. I had everybody up there. I was speaking for 4 that time. So, anyways, this is Age of Reason from Black Dawn. And, once again, I've had to ask myself many, many, many times, what is the reason for all this mess that we're experiencing these days? And we've already had a number of guests on in the past couple weeks. Some of you may be scratching your heads about all that. And, all I can tell you is maybe you have to flash back to the beginning. In the meantime, either somebody's phone's going off or we're getting a call.
Yo, what's up, Silverback?
What the fuck, Tool? You're on the S.F.V show, and in case you guys don't know, this is Tool Rantula.
I am Tool Rantula. What's up, Silverback?
Man. Doing my thing. In fact, my eyes keep flashing around the screen, and I'm doing that thing like the movie Usual Suspects. I mean, of course, you don't find this out until the end of the movie. So, spoiler alert. You find out basically at the end of the movie that the one particular guy who you thought was the meekest, half retarded, partially lame interviewee of the main detective in the movie, it has been basically picking up on cues all over the room, of the actual office that he's sitting in, and making up his story as he goes based on things that he's seeing. And honestly, that's typically how I do it. My thought process is largely generated by cues from others. You might say one word, and I can just, boom, take off on that sucker. And, I do try to do it in somewhat of it has to have some sort of progression to it. It does have some, hidden meaning or underlying message or some relevance. And I will work my way around the subject matter at hand with all these other various nuanced kind of influences that I'm running up against. And unfortunately, my eyes fell right on some MP3 track called Granny Panties, and I've got nothing. I've got absolutely nothing. Here's Show Us Your Tits. All right, cool. Now we got something to talk about. All right,
yeah,
well.
I'm talking about the Granny Panties.
Yeah, let's start with Granny Panties. Yeah, that's where I want to start. So in case you guys haven't noticed, I've moved on from...
wear the Granny Panties when they're on their period.
Yeah, Jesus, all right. Yeah, shut it all down, turn it off, we're out. We're only 8 minutes in, Tool. Don't get started like that. Sometimes...
to get this way until like an hour in, I got it.
I can't figure out this can.
Well, no, I was saying, bro, is that, your topic for this show is actually, it's so relevant, man. It just feels like we're here to serve everyone else and bow to their whim. They mistake kindness for weakness.
Right. You would think, well, that's a slippery slope to agree to that one. Because what you might actually think by our even saying that in the first place is that somehow you all out there, or anyone who we work for, etc., or I mean, you name it, are the masters and we are the slaves. And that much I would have to disagree with. But what I will say is that being that we've got so many influences coming our way, people are trying to get the best out of you without merit. In other words, what exactly is it that I owe you that makes you think that you could talk to me the way that you are as if I do?
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure many of us have felt this way. It's like, hey, fuck you! Who the fuck are you, man? Don't talk to me like this. I'm a human being. I'm deserving of respect.
Yeah, you don't talk at me, man. Talk to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. In other words, you're going to get a hell of a lot more traction out of coming at me from a position of, hey, we're both human beings and I'm in a real bad spot here. Can you help me out? Then,
well, hey, listen,
hey,
along those lines too, man, is that we've met a lot of really nice people along the way. These people are going through some grief, and they still keep a smile, and they hold their head high.
Yes, some do, and others really don't. And actually,
right.
if I had to say that some keep their head high and others don't, I'd probably be referring more to you and I than anyone else. I mean, most people are so consumed with their own, with their own problems that they refuse to see how anybody else might have problems in their own lives that need attention outside of me doing or us doing whatever to accommodate them. And hey guys, throw back a couple weeks, I'd say 3 from now, and you might be saying to yourself, well, I remember Silverback getting off on this trip a couple weeks ago, and he laid it down. And that is true. I did lay it down, man. I put it down pretty good that time. And it was all in reference to something else that I was hoping we might be able to address during the following shows. Once again, this is a shout out to the Twisted Family.
What up, Twisted Family?
What's up, Twisted Family? Terminal Darker, Logan Reevy Knight. Loveless. Angie DeGory.
Heather Hall. Loretta.
Yeah. Right. All you guys, we love you, and thank you for coming on. And we will have them back. In fact, Terminal said to me the other day, he said, hey, listen, motherfucker, you ain't got rid of us yet. In that classic tone of his. And I agree. I don't want to be rid of you yet. In fact, they probably thought that we were just ringing them out for what they were worth and we were going to move on. Not true, guys. Not true. We got your back all the way, and we know you got 100%. Ours. And it was a lot of fun, man. And we will be doing this again. That is not a cue to call in. Although I wouldn't turn you away if you did. The point of that was the point of what I was getting at originally, and the one that I thought that I would be able to follow through with the family based on conversations that we had never ultimately took place, and I'll take credit for that failing. Hey, I can hear background, dude. Stop that. Turn that thing off, whatever you got going in the background.
Oh, you can hear background?
Yes, I can, sir.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually hearing it echo every time I talk on the phone, too. I don't know if that's on my front.
Maybe I have to end this call. No? Yeah. All right. Don't give me any feedback, man. I'm saying, that's funny, actually. It's a little double entendre. Don't give me any feedback. But really what we are looking for is feedback. We're looking to say, hey, look, we believe that you guys are being affected in so many ways by let's just say people in your life, or maybe things that you're influenced by on the internet, or other people's aggression. I mean, your day in and day out life may be so stressful and seemingly meaningless at the same time that you might wonder, what the hell is this all for? I mean, we weren't put here to deal with this bullshit. We weren't put here to accommodate others to the extent that we're going to be ground down to a bloody stump on a regular basis because of others' needs. Fuck that. We're here to enjoy ourselves. We're here to be humans. We're here to be happy. We're not here to be pissed off, angry, discontented, just
we're more than happy
balls of fury, complete wrecks emotionally. That's not why we're here, and we have to ask ourselves the question of what it was that has taken place over the last, let's say a couple months or even couple years, or maybe we've been leading up to this for a long ass time, maybe a lot longer than we thought we were. To come to this point where everything is so goddamn dramatic and frickin', like, oh, it's the end of the world.
It's detrimental. Yeah, exactly.
It's the end of the frickin' world. And I almost laugh at myself because I referenced this a little while back when we had an earthquake. It was a little one, man. I slept through the damn thing. It was only about a 4 point something, and I literally, went, is it over? I'm tired. I'm going back to sleep. Whereas if you didn't actually live here and weren't, maybe comfortable with that feeling, you might have hit the ceiling like a cat. Yeah, but I said after that thing had happened, I'm like, listen, guys, it ain't the end of the world, okay? Just because we had a little earthquake doesn't mean it's all going to come crashing down on our heads, Just because some, to paraphrase myself, drunken sailor of a politician over in Russia is talking about dropping bombs on us. Hey, listen, give it your best shot. We got something for you if you think you're gonna. But that's the thing is we've all got something. We all got a little something for each other. If any one of us decides to go that way, they call that mutually assured destruction. I'm sure you've heard of it. That's why nukes are basically stupid. So get rid of them, Obama. What up? Anyways, in fact, make everybody else get rid of theirs, and we'll get rid of ours last. Because inherently we're good, right? We're good, or at least that's what we believe. We like to believe that we're good, and the reason why we're doing the things that we do for other people, even when we feel like there's really no point to this, man. I mean, God, why are we going to continue to deal with this nonsense when there's seemingly no benefit or reward to it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, why? Why would we suffer so much when in the end there's just not a lot of there's no gain to be seen or to be had. I mean, we may not see it, and that's where sacrifice sometimes has a different payoff. Is when you do things for people and you don't see that. You just do it because it makes you feel good knowing that you've done something good, whether or not they even pay any credence to that. You know what I mean? You might have just handed somebody a brand new car and they, you know what I mean? They're so caught up in their own stuff that they don't even see how you've just helped them. But
exactly.
You have.
Well, it's supposed to be the silent tithe, I guess, from that aspect when you give humbly.
Right. And especially when you do it and then you don't turn around and say,
I did this for you and you owe me.
Oh, even better. Yeah. That's funny. I mean, outside of, money, I don't think I've ever put it to somebody like that. That's one of those things that I just don't do. I'm not going to give something of myself to someone else and say, okay, now guess what? You owe me, Oh, I just did something completely, that was a gift of
monetary value.
Well, it's not even so much money. It's just, I'm sure all of you know exactly what I'm talking about, because there are certainly people out there that will say, oh yeah, I see you're in a tough spot and blah blah blah, and they help you out. And almost at the exact same time turn around and you make some sort of they tie that them having done something for you to you now owing them in some way, or maybe they don't even do it right then and there. But
of course, it always registers in the back of their mind. It's like,
right, exactly. Just wait, yeah. When I need something, and it's gonna be, and it's gonna cost you double, basically. Mm-hmm. Oh, how nice. Thanks for your charity. But now, I owe you double or triple because you helped me out of a spot. I mean, we should all be here for each other. We should be here to watch each other's backs. And before I get off,
more time helping other people out, and without the expectation. But if we're ever in a situation where you need someone to kind of help lift you up, it's always kind of one of these situations of, I know I can do it, but what benefit is it going to be for me?
Right. And you know what? We could go round and round. We really could. I mean, we could go round and round and round. And I did this for damn near 2 hours a couple weeks back, and all in the direction of leading up to Twisted Family coming on the show and talking a little bit more about it, because as I see it, those guys are out there crowning fools all the time. And by that, I mean, putting down the baseball bat on their heads for messing around. You got a lot of very aggressive...
Running people off the internet.
What's that?
Running people off the internet.
Right. And why? Well, because they're jerks, number one. I mean, I don't think too many of us could get behind the idea that going out there and trying to friend people, or just whatever, checking out somebody's page, and then, ultimately contacting them and not getting any feedback, or at the very least saying, hey, look, I've got a boyfriend, or I've got a girlfriend, or I've got this or that. I mean, it happens to all of us, and they instantaneously hit the psycho freaking insane button on their end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How dare you deny me? God forbid that, here we go. You could basically interpret the internet as one gigantic dance club, where, most of us out there have been, and we've seen, and some of us have learned to see it as a numbers game. If there's 10 girls in front of me, so long as I'm not hitting too far outside of my league, probably, 1 in 10 of them will actually give me the time of day. And so you just play that game. Hello, no, hello, no, hello, no, hello, until you're worked your way down the line, and somewhere in that bunch, there's going to be one person or another that just needs to be talked to, or just, hey, maybe they, for whatever reason, they think you're cute, and they go for it. Okay, cool. So your numbers game just worked out for you then. Is it really the way that you want to go? I mean, me personally, I would say no. That's not, pussy is not that important that I would just go hit up, a random gaggle of girls to say, oh, I'm going to, just hit up all these chicks here, and if one of them hits, then cool. No. I'm looking for something a little bit better than that, but that's just me. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with playing the numbers game, but what I am saying is that takes 9 rejections to get 1 approval. And anybody who can't deal with that kind of rejection, might resort to the internet, where their behavior in responding to a rejection could be tantamount to a psychopath. You know what I mean? I mean, they've got no tolerance for being denied. And I don't understand that, I don't understand that position. They're not into you. Big deal. Move on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, you could be thinking in your mind that, hey, this chick's got some, maybe you think that you see something in her that you don't in most people, and you get obsessed a little bit or whatever, and she turns you down. Yeah, you could have some reason to be upset, but not at her. Well, it's not her fault that she's not into you. You know what I mean?
Let me put it to you best like this, man.
Oh, put it to me best.
Okay, here it is, dude. When you let's just say you get out of a relationship, the first thing that's probably on your mind is, I'm never gonna get laid again. At least from like a dude's perspective.
Yeah.
And maybe it all comes off in a very creepy kind of manner, almost a desperation. But when you actually have this I don't care kind of attitude, like whatever fucking happens, happens, that's when you notice that the onslaught of poor interest comes. It truly does boil down to chicks like the bad boy, man.
All right.
They like to do that just doesn't give them that much attention, but, is kind of interested, but not really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the and then they're wondering, ooh, what is this?
With or without you.
What does this guy got that he would actually give me so little time of day? There's got to be something special about somebody that ignores me so well.
But there's truth in law of averages. Although you probably get a lot of the psycho ones out there.
Yeah, I'm sure you know nothing of that.
Nothing of that.
What's that? Nothing? Yeah.
I know nothing of that.
Right. And as sure as the steam is literally coming up on my sunglasses in this sauna of a studio, we've got all these lights back on and we're ready to go. But it has been a hot one out here in LA, man, and we all know what happens when it gets hot. People, I mean, it's almost like they turn the crazy button up and turn the crazy volume up to 11. You know what I mean?
Hey, I thought you were going to refer to yourself tonight as Beat Stroganoff.
Oh, beaten. Well, we could. I've been doing a little remodeling around my house. Nobody's going to understand that, and that's why I didn't go with that one. I don't know if I had really mentioned that to you before, because I think you asked me if I would, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Why not? Beat Stroganoff.
Let me ask you this, man. I noticed that you're drinking one of those Shack vanilla cream sodas, man.
Exactly. Pretty freaking good, man. I gotta tell you. And I don't know. I guess if Shaq had an English accent, he might actually say that. Exactly.
That's fucking fun.
It's my vanilla cream soda, and if you haven't had it, I suggest you try it, man. Shaq is onto something here. He's got some vanilla cream soda. I think he's got like a strawberry one and a blueberry one.
Yeah, he's got like an orange cream that tastes like one of those orange cream.
Oh my God! Why didn't you get me one of those, man? That thing would have been sweet.
Oh man, yeah.
It's like it's really good, people. I don't know how else to put it, but bourbon vanilla extract. Hell yeah.
It's always what you don't have that makes it worth drinking, and that could refer to a relationship too.
Say again. I missed that one. What'd you say?
Oh, I said it's always what you don't have is what you want. It makes it more intriguing.
Yeah. You know what? These are all unifying themes in the world because we see it so often. It's just our mentalities. I mean, we're it's almost like we're wired for this sort of thing. I've got some serious acoustic guitar going on in the background, and this one is called Sand from another Destiny project, which is typically a band that rocks out, and that one's over. This next one coming up is called Made for This. I think this one might actually blow your mind, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit, and I'll be right back. So this is Made for This from Reveler. Alright guys, we're coming back real quick. I just wanted to let you guys know that we're gonna pop out for 2 seconds and gather our thoughts. This is the S.F.V show. You're listening to Silverback and Tool. And right now we're playing this song fucking sucks, man. For all you guys that are into this, I feel sorry for you. We're gonna flash forward to Chernobyl from She Walks Without Legs.
This song does suck, man.
It does. It's fucking terrible. Sorry for that.
With your playlist, is what it sounds
Sorry,
like.
people. Hey, it's called Metalhead. It sounds like somebody with a metalhead freaking wrote it. Oh, that sounds good. Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna flash forward to this one called Chernobyl from She Walks Without Legs, and we'll be right back with the S.F.V show. Stay tuned.
How might such information, under what circumstances, be presented to or
You guys know this one. It's Expropriated from Tholis. One of my favorite songs of all time, man. These guys rock. Let's play Expropriated real quick.
of other life would kill your body? Hogan, are you crazy? How can anyone have missed this?
Alright guys, we're back. This is S.F.V, and you're listening to Silverback and Tool Ranchula. He's probably on the line still. Tool, you out there?
I am.
Killer, man. Alright, cool. So anyways, yeah, we don't have to sit through that entire song, even though I know a lot of you guys tune in just for the music, but as you know, we are wont to pontificate on occasion here, and you may even say that we talk a lot. Too much. And you would be correct on all counts. You would be correct on all counts if you were to say so, and I hope that you don't mind, but we tend to do things a little bit differently here. This is a music show. This is a tattoo show. This is a San Fernando Valley show, man. We are SFV, and we try to stick to the topics at hand, especially what we see going on here in our locale. Southern California, Los Angeles specifically. San Fernando Valley is what you might call a bedroom community, or it was, and it is now largely growing into it's growing into a metropolis of its own, and we're seeing the we're seeing the effects of such because it is crowded here. The traffic is getting no better. Ivan DePrume himself, the former drummer of White Zombie, has previously stated that he thinks the San Fernando Valley is the biggest shithole in America, and that's okay.
You can say that.
It's you know what? We'll give him that one. Because, I'm sure that...
And he lives in Valley Village, man. That place is like, the elite of San Fernando Valley. I don't even know if it's know if that's technically like San Fernando Valley. I guess it is. But.
It is. It is. In fact, there's 52 separate communities that are part of the San Fernando Valley, Valley Village being one of them. But again, you're down there. I mean, and actually Valley Village is home to a lot of musicians and other various artists. In fact, I believe Brad Smith from
he is.
Blind Melon lives down there as well. Exactly. Yep. So we know that at the very least, one does currently and one has previously lived in Valley Village, and I'm sure there's many, many more that we don't know about because we're not, typically in the business of asking people where exactly they live. So long as they know the Valley, they may not love the Valley, but they might have gotten far enough out of it to find out that they just like the common peaceful life a little bit better. Ooh, there goes my music. What's coming up next? Hold on a second. We have not moved into our next... Oh, you know why? Because it sounds like the last end of this track is completely lost. So we'll just advance. How about this one? Right, so there goes... this is Walk Away from Distort. And it's a calm day. It's a calm day for us. We don't have any guests. But what we'd like to do, actually, is give a few shout-outs to some of the people that know us and love us, listen to the show, or have contributed in one way or the other. Specifically, I'm actually wearing a shirt right now. My homeboy Clayton from, the S.F.V is, he's a writer, and this shirt is basically just a fundraiser shirt for him to fight a case. And so I wanted to say what's up to Clayton. I also want to say up to a few of my friends, Hippie, Charlie, Jeremy, Brittany, Vicious, Casimira. What's up, girl? I'll be using some other stuff.
Metal Mike, man.
Hey, hold on a second. Jeez, don't get ahead of me. Yeah, Metal Mike. We got exactly. Oh. We came in here to crack heads today, people. Instead, we're getting a little bit soppy. Metal Mike, dude, we love that guy, and in fact, I got another story to tell about him that's going to play a little bit further into some of the stuff that we're looking at this week.
Talk about that.
Yeah, no, we're going to. Crazy stuff.
I mean, talk about putting out fires, man.
Talk about putting out fires, no doubt. Me and Tool have been at it all weekend, and we are literally extinguishing the fires with buckets of water.
That's no joke.
But before I go any farther, I wanted to just say what's up to Andrew Lee, Drazen from Rock and Roll My Blood, Tiz Shearer, XRP, Inked Girls. Those are some of my friends on Facebook.
And also like Tiffany and Danny Gager.
Yeah, exactly. There you go, Tiffany and Danny Gager.
Fab.
Yeah.
Fab is a hip hop type of guy. He does the house music. In fact, this guy is about ready to get signed too, and he's got some shit that we should actually be.
That's cool with me. I know you guys like heavy metal out there, but sometimes we have to walk off the beaten path, man. Step outside that box and do something a little bit different. I'm down with heavy metal music. In fact, that's my Beat Stroganoff likes to listen to heavy metal music, but I also gotta give credence to people who are just talented, and that's what we do because again, S.F.V is about tattoo culture and heavy metal and all that other stuff, but it's about the Valley really. And if you can't get to S.F.V, if you can't get down with that, then I don't know what you can get down with, man. We got and that's the thing is if you are from here and you're down with it, then you are fully down with it, and that's why we like metal. We're loving Metal Mike because he is all about it, and he's going to be showing us some stuff coming up here pretty soon.
That dude is cool, man.
He is cool, and he has not been able to make the show twice in a row now, but there again, he's only just figuring out what we do, and the more he sees, the more he likes.
Without a doubt.
Right, exactly. So yeah, just wanted to say hi to.
Built-in entertainment, man.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, absolutely.
A whole lot of shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wake up the neighbors at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We're just going for it.
Doesn't give a shit. So as we had said previously, we've been putting out fires all week long. So check this out. This is an interesting story. So if you listen to the show before, I'm sure you must have heard me mention at some point or another that I do some I swing hammers for a living. I'm a contractor, and some of the projects that I get myself involved with, may or may not have had some root in the shady side of things, but not anything on my side particularly. I'm just there to clean up after others, right? Yeah. So that being said, I was actually on a particular job this week. Tool was with me, and we were over there, busting out, doing our thing. And I without getting too long-winded about it, I will say that at some point, in the morning, I had mentioned, "Hey, do you smell that smell? It smells like somebody's barbecuing or something. Dang, that smells good." Oh, I couldn't quite tell. I was looking around. I'm thinking, who's barbecuing around here? It's early, Okay, well, that thought faded away and the day went on. And I think I mentioned a couple more times as the day went on. It smells very...
Yeah, you hit me up about it too, man. And,
several times.
I figured I've heard this comment so many times before, and it's actually, amounted to nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nothing, man. It's just the neighbor or something.
Yeah, whatever, exactly. Well, so now, mind you that the tenants at this point had moved out. The house was empty, and we were just basically cleaning up an empty house. Getting the grime off the walls, getting the holes patched up, getting various things of that nature done. And I remember being on a ladder in the kitchen area, and it's now been no less than 4 hours since I originally mentioned that somebody was barbecuing or something was cooking around there. I didn't know what it was. And I looked out the window, and sure enough, from clear blue sky to basically, it looked like I just remember saying, "Damn, when did it get so cloudy?" And that was when I realized that the back end of the house was literally on fire. And of course, I was standing right next to it, and I ran out the back door, and I started yelling at Tool, "Dude, fire, 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 fire!" I'm sure you guys, if you've ever been in that situation before, I would love to know that you said something different than fire. In fact, they say that if you're about to be raped or whatever, it's better to yell fire than it is to yell rape. Because true. People will come running. One fire can turn...
People actually gather around you in a circle and they start to applaud.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. They're getting down. Yeah, well, this was a fire. There was no rapage going on. Was no rapage whatsoever. It was all fire. And
well, the fire was raping the house.
The fire was raping the house. In fact, it was butt raping the house because it was in the backside, and of the house. Yeah, right. And of course, we start running around like chickens with their heads cut off, looking for water. No water, man. There's no hose.
No fucking spigot.
No spigot. Nothing. They had completely.
Couldn't find any buckets.
Yeah. So I'm trying to fill a bucket at about a.
Man, you made this place will burn. I'm gonna take my beer with me, but I'm not gonna dump that on there.
Yeah. Not only that, but all of my tools are sitting there right beneath the structure that's on fire. Right. There's a kind of a carport sort of thing attached to the house. That carport is fully ablaze, and Tool and I are standing there running around like, where the hell are we going to get water? We've got no hose, we've got no spigot,
we didn't have
nothing.
Too many options at that point in time.
Yeah, and it just so happened...
Throwing like more shit on the fire, just fuel it almost.
Right. It just so happened that Tool, for whatever reason, ran to my truck and started looking inside for maybe a fire extinguisher or something of that nature, and found a bottle of water that I had bought literally the night before. Just a gallon of water, whatever. Crystal Geyser. Thank you, Crystal Geyser.
The Crystal Geyser.
We gave it Crystal Geyser hell, man. He came out there with that bottle of water and just gave it enough of a dampener so that, because, had it gone by another couple of seconds, that house would have been done for. I would have said,
it would have been done.
Tool, grab the tools, as many as you can, throw them in the back of the truck, and we're out of here, dude. This house is going down. This was not our fault. Had nothing to do with us, actually. There was a pile of stuff out there in the back of the house, and, that was just leftover sort of trash-looking stuff that we, didn't pay much attention to because we weren't about to deal with that, and sure enough, that pile of stuff had lit on fire, and the wind caught it and transferred it to the house, and now the house is fully ablaze, right? And we're trying to put it out with a gallon of Crystal Geyser water. Well,
I heard that first sizzle. I go, okay, we bought us like at least a couple seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And that couple of seconds made the difference between that whole thing turning into a full-blown structure fire to, basically just the fizzling and the looking around going, what the hell was that? How did that happen?
Well, here's the irony, bro. We were actually talking just before that about making a run to go pick up some other items at the market.
Yeah, and exactly. We had been discussing it for about a good hour.
Incinerated.
Hey, let's get out of here. All right, cool. And then, me being the person that I am, I'm loath to leave a job site at any given time, even if for food or water or smokes or whatever. I don't want to go because I've got, I've just got so much to do, and when I see it just staring me at the face, it's hard to drag me away from it. That's really what it comes down to, right?
And here's the benefit: you do a lot of procrastinating. You're a pontificator, as you're, self-admitted. This I hear off.
Wait, what? I missed that part.
Well, I said you are a pontificator and you are a procrastinator in some sort. And in this case, it actually...
Thank you. You dick. Hang up. No, it's true. I'm a procrastinator, but I procrastinate on the level of someone who really just wants to continue working. In other words, I'll put off doing things that I should be doing to do things that I am doing, which is typically working and just trying to get the job done, right? I don't want to leave for food. I don't want to leave for, stuff or whatever, or take a break or even do any of that stuff. It's just not in my nature. I can't do it. You know what I mean? So, and that's the worst part about me is I just don't have much of an off button as that is concerned. But Tool does. Thank God he just, isn't the boss and isn't telling me what I have to be doing as opposed to me telling him what to do at that particular time. Even though, he's a man of free will. He could do whatever he wants. But, me particularly, I was just thinking, I'll give him my keys and he can go do whatever he wants to do. But that's not what happened. What ended up happening was we hung out there way too long, and as a result, happened to catch a fire in its makings, taking hold of this place and almost burning the shit to the ground. Okay, so yeah. Tool grabs this bottle of water, douses it, and we hear that sizzle, and that just gave me hope, I guess. I thought, we're actually going to be able to get a hold of this thing. Right, so I jam around, and I actually eventually did find a spigot on the side of the house, tucked away, where you probably wouldn't go looking for it. And there's no hose on it, but we do have buckets, so I'm filling up buckets as quickly as possible. And what was even funnier was that I only had 2 buckets at my disposal at that particular time, and the one that I had a gigantic hole in it. So even though I was filling it all the way up, by the time I got to the fire, there was only about 3/4 of it or less left, right? So I chucked that sucker and run back. Oh yeah, he's running around too. He's running around all over the whole freaking house.
Crazy. I'm seeing only thing I'm seeing is like bottles of gasoline and turpentine. I'm like thinking, Will this
Yeah.
actually put this out?
Yeah. What if I throw some turpentine on it? Will that put it out? Jeez. Oh, thank God. Thank God. All right. Well, anyway, so we got a hold of the fire eventually, and we put it down, and it was like, and now we're just looking at each other like, oh my God, dude, that was bad. That was so bad.
That was really bad.
What would we have done? Nothing. I can tell you right now. This was a rental, and I would have literally just jumped in my car and taken off. I mean, I wouldn't have had anything to do or say about it because it wasn't us.
Vegas run, man.
And yeah, Vegas run, exactly. So this is what ultimately happened. You know, as the firefighters, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the firefighters come, and you have to kind of wonder, man, did they have to do that much damage? I mean, you got a little roof fire, and they end up gutting a freaking 10-foot hole in your roof and tearing everything out of there.
The walls that aren't even on fire yet.
Right, exactly, and that's the thing about fire is that it actually sleeps in these little fibers. And if you don't, tear out enough material and soak enough of the material, you're likely to catch fire again some point later on in the evening. You know what I mean? You'll be all, basically you'll be in relaxed mode, and right about that time, a little gust of wind or some such other thing will happen, and it'll rekindle. And next thing you know, you're right back in the same place you started, and they're tearing down half the house this time. So that's why they do that. Well, I started doing the same thing. I'm tearing off pieces of wood and pieces of this and that, and there's this pile of debris that had been sitting there, which was ultimately where the source of the fire had come from. So I start checking through it. I'm pulling it apart, and as I'm pulling it apart, I'm thinking to myself, what a random bunch of garbage is in this thing. What is this stuff? I'm talking about little planks of wood. I'm talking about balled up rags.
It was like fire lint.
Oh, and there was this one particular stuff that was in there. Yeah, it was balls of rags and this and that, but it was not dryer lint. It was actually something that was more like padding for seats and stuff of that nature. It's like whole bricks of the, like, not lint, but more like little tiny strings all thrown together in a big mat.
That shouldn't belong there.
Stuff that should not belong there. Shouldn't belong there. There's no reason for it, really. It was like just plastics.
It didn't come out of the house.
And all kinds of stuff. Yeah, there was no way that any of this stuff was inside the house at some point. It wasn't part of what was going on there. It was literally something that had been put there almost on purpose. And at the bottom of this pile, what do I find? I find now broken because of the heat, but one of those like fancy molded pieces
decorative
of
bowl.
glass, like a glass bowl that's got the decorative sort of veining and stuff like that all over it, right? You've seen it. Whatever. Grandma has a bunch of them. Inside that bowl is a device. And, mind you, there was some electricity that was close to this spot, and there was a wire that was hanging sort of over the spot, and I was looking at that, and then I'm looking at this device, and I'm looking closer and closer at the device, and I'm thinking to myself, this is an ignition switch.
Yeah.
This is a device that was planted here on purpose with all this tinder piled on top of it, and all it would have taken was
a phone call.
Well, as it turns out, a phone call. Somebody calls the house, that triggers the device, and the device creates a spark that will ignite. In other words, all it was, if you looked at it, basically what it looked like was that somebody had run two wires, unsheathed wires, right? So you're talking, bare copper wires that were wrapped around this thing in such a way with a motor in the middle and it turned out it was like an old blender of some sort.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so melted that you really couldn't make heads or tails of it, except that there was a piece of the blade still sticking out from all the melted plastic.
Very
And
conspicuous.
very, very, very conspicuous, especially seeing as these unsheathed wires, these copper wires that were all attached with, and on the end, a very homemade looking plug was attached to it, and it was wrapped around the whole thing in such a way that all it took was an electrical charge, and you could see this thing sparking and ultimately catching something on fire.
And
Well,
that was the smell that we were smelling earlier.
yeah, exactly. And all it would have taken was a phone call to the house, and you could do it remotely, and nobody would know. Now, why would somebody do something like this? I mean,
Vendetta?
how would this person have known necessarily whether I or anybody else was in the back of the house, didn't know what was going on, you know, maybe smelled the thing or whatever, but as it turns out, you know, I saw it in time, but had I not, the entire exit side of the house would have been completely blocked off by fire.
If you would not have been where you were at that point in time,
I would have had to go diving through windows.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. So those, in fact, that only just occurred to me that outside of, you know, I mean, obviously at that point I wouldn't have cared. I would have, you know, kicked anything out. I would have knocked down a whole wall if I had to get out the safe side.
Oh, yeah,
but
you would have Kool-Aided that wall.
Oh, absolutely! I would have Kool-Aided that wall in a second. I would have gorillaed that thing in no time flat. But you know, but that just reminded me of the evil nature of people in some instances. I'm not pointing the finger at society as a whole, but what I am saying is that we know that this evil exists out there. We do know that people are literally that they're
maniacal.
That maniacal, that you know, have that very little, you know, respect for life that they would do something of this nature, and over what? I mean, there was no reason. And now maybe there may have been some underlying reasons, but my I know for a fact that outside of really just wanting to exact some sort of revenge for some perceived, you know, crossing of sorts, there was no reason, and especially since I had absolutely nothing to do with it. So when we say we were putting out fires this week, you know, we ain't just whistling Dixie. Let's put it that way. We literally put a fire out that was set on purpose to burn this house down, and you know, and
put ourselves in harm's way, man.
Exactly, big time. And you know, and sit around scratching your head after the fact, wondering, you know, what is coming to the world when this sort of thing is becoming that prevalent. You know what I mean? Like where we could be out there just doing our job, doing what, you know, what pays the bills, and this whole radio thing here is literally just I mean, what is this radio thing to us? It's meant to be fun.
It's definitely a forum for us to speak our mind and
right,
and express our, you know, musical beliefs and boy, you know, it's a number of
well,
things.
No,
and
that's just it.
People, but we bring out the truth.
Right, and that's just it. Is sometimes the truth is as you see it, and I don't, you know, again, I had to take the blame for introducing the subject weeks ago and not having the balls to follow through with it in the following weeks when the Twisted Family was on, and you know, I had discussed this stuff with them, and most every one of them had
This is a creepy topic, dude.
It's a creepy topic, people. I don't want anybody to get freaked out. And that's why I didn't go there in the first place. Yeah, it is. And I hate to do it, but it's almost like I have to because, there's no other way to say it, man. Sometimes you just have to come right out. And the funny thing is that I think because of the conversations that I've had with other people and the vast majority of them being, normal-minded people, everyday people that you would meet on the street or that would be working on your house or delivering your groceries or whatever the hell they are, watching your kids, having kids.
You may think you know somebody, but you really probably don't.
Well, that's just it, is because this is one of those underlying things that, people had to either grow up with or be, taught early on and have largely not forgotten about, but just don't, allow the subject to slip into their lives so often. And I am one of those people. I mean, I came up with this whole business, and even though I wouldn't say so much that I was, had forgotten about it, I just don't want to hear it a lot. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear it. Stop talking to me like this. I don't want to hear it.
Don't at face value anymore.
What's that again?
I said this isn't like the good old days. We could take someone at face value.
Right. Exactly. Because you never know what.
The handshake is all done.
Yeah. And in so many cases, honor has been lost, but that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm talking about. And again, I apologize for anybody who's wondering what the hell I'm beating around the bush about. But
Silverback.
Yeah, no, but the thing is that I had to ask the question. You guys are out there. You're listening to this show. I mean, we found out last week that Satan himself listens to this show. I wish he'd call back in, man. The guy was he was pretty cool. I mean, he was a little indiscernible, but he said that he's watching us, and I believe him. I think he is watching us. I think he's got a hand in things. I think he's part of the reason why. And in fact, I think that Satan listens to this show for the same reason that, the vast majority of people listen to Rush Limbaugh. They hate his freaking guts.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear what he has to say because they believe it. They want to hear what he has to say because they don't believe it. They want to hear what he has to say because they want to scream and yell at the radio and tell him what a jackass he is. And I'm not saying whether or not that's true, but what I am saying is that, when Satan calls in and tells us that he's watching the show, I have to say, hey, that's notoriety right there. The old, fallen son is literally interested enough in what we're doing that we got to call in from him on the show when the Twisted Family's on. So, but why? If you guys are out there and you're listening to the show, you're on the internet and you're seeing what's going on out there, you may be seeing a proliferation of darkness and disparity and a mental instability, a disconnect from each other. That's why I wanted the family to come on, is because I felt that they were going to be whether or not they actually knew it, they were going to be the ties that bind. They were going to be the ones, almost like when Hitler started segregating all the Jews from the rest of the society by marking them, right? Segregating all the scientists and the people that the artists and religious people, and I mean, because the Jews weren't the only ones who were affected in World War II.
Hell no, man! A lot of people were persecuted.
Oh yeah, lots.
And dude, the Polish people went ahead. They were decimated.
Well, he had to eliminate, people that were going to be enemies of the state. You can't, quote unquote, cleanse the the German population from outside influence without eliminating people as a whole, because any other societal influence is going to change that in so many ways. And I'm sure that he felt that the Jews were part of that, but he also expanded that idea into other religions. I know that had it not been for the Catholic Church getting behind Hitler in that case, there probably would have been a little bit more persecution on that end of things. But once again, religions getting involved with governments in matters of war and blessing this side or that side over who is going to win, etc., etc. It's all bad. It's all bad. But what it comes back to on our end of things is, if there is a force out there that's seeking to influence us, how would it influence us? What would it do, or how would it do it so that we would be affected in such a way that any given person that we run across, we don't even acknowledge. You do good things for people, they act like you owe it to them.
They're entitled.
You do your best to be the best sort of person that you can be, and people take it as weakness. People take it as, what have you. And I know that you guys are out there and hearing me, because we see it all the time. You probably say something about it all the time, and you don't know why it's happening. And this all gets back to something that was a point that was raised to me by somebody that's in my life, and it was a question of, what do you know about this particular entity? And I said, I don't know, it's the boogeyman, I guess. I mean, I didn't really know what else to say about it. I mean, it was, all I knew was that this was the unspoken thing, because if you bring it up, people get weird all of a sudden. They know it exists, but they don't want to acknowledge it, and especially not out here when we're such open. We're like wide open targets, man. Like standing in the middle of a field or surrounded by snipers.
That's kind of what we do all the time, man. We set ourselves up, and we are targets.
That's right. And what sort of force could be so so deeply embedded in our society that everybody knows it and acknowledges its existence, but has no guts to stand up and say anything about it. And maybe that's the biggest problem, is that, you know what I mean? It's almost like
it's
being in World War II, right? You are just an average human being, and you're standing but you don't know whether your own sister, mother, brother, neighbor, who the fuck ever is going to throw you under the bus.
Your thoughts are to go with the prevailing force.
But again, the paranoia that existed at the time, because basically the government set up a system of distrust between the people, where it said, where it encouraged people to dime on their friends and family, to be like the hall monitors of their entire society. And if you were gutless enough to think, oh yeah, hey, if I turn in so-and-so, I'm going to get commendation for it. Well, all you were doing was throwing yourself under the bus. There was no benefit in doing that. You basically just got rid of one other person that might have stood up for you when you get lined up and shot down, right? And that's the same way that this entity works. It's so scary to most people that they won't dare to say anything about it, even though they know that it exists. And that's a scary thing, because what what's different about this particular force is that I believe that they're actually operating on an even darker level. And
there's intentions behind everything that's happening.
There is no way that you... okay, here's the thing. Most people don't want to talk about religion.
Well, rightly so. That and politics.
Right. And I am not talking about religion right now. Okay? Let's talk about... actually, maybe I am. Let's talk about a religion that most of us don't know much about. Okay? Let's talk about Satanism, right? Now, it's not so much that I want to talk about Satanism, but what I do want to kind of preface is, okay, how many of you have seen things, or at the very least heard stories, about some really demonic crap going on? So-and-so was messing around with a Ouija board, or they were messing around with some other sort of device like a crystal ball, or maybe they were out there sitting inside of a pentagram drawn on the floor with candles and the whole shebangy bang. And that's when shit starts getting crazy.
Yeah,
I'm talking about beams of light coming from nowhere. Nowhere. Literally blank wall to a beam of light that's tantamount to standing in front of a semi-truck. Like so bright that it wants to burn your eyeballs out, and it came from nowhere. Kind of
Star Wars, like some kind of like or even like Star Trek. When you teleport, like something like that, but a large glowing beam.
Right. And Tool here is my backup because he told me this story one time that he had seen something like this, and it just happened to be in none other than
the Manson house.
The Manson house. You went to the Manson house and started messing around with some stuff, and this beam...
We broke in.
Yeah, you broke into the Manson house, climbed the 20-foot chain link fence, got in there.
Two of them, man. They have two, 20-foot fences that surrounded that house.
Crazy. So that's determination, but when we're kids, we see things as being more just like, ooh, let's go call out the boogeyman. Let's go see what kind of shit we can stir up with the devil. Because we see it as...
It's real.
Yeah, it is real. It's very real.
Oh, it's real.
See, the thing is that I never really messed around with that myself, but growing up, I heard plenty of stories because my family was religious. So I know that it's real. There's no question in my mind. But my own experience as far as stories being told has only just been further and further substantiated by people who actually have seen and done these things, because they didn't know any better at the time or whatever. Or maybe they were just curious, because everybody thinks that religion is boring, but nobody thinks that demons and freaking crazy ghosts and all kinds of stuff like that is boring at all. We've got more than enough TV shows to prove that people are interested in the other side.
Well,
okay?
If one person says it, it's like, but if like, two or three, get a little more believable. But a lot of people are saying it's into the tens of thousands, probably more. There's probably some merit to it.
Yeah. You can't deny a collective of, holy shit, this song sucks. All right, bam, you're out. And since we're on the truth, this one's called True Absolute from Abraxas Countdown. Let's listen to a little bit of it.
Okay.
There it goes. Super fast. Super fast. That's probably New York, but down here in the S.F.V, I would be called the Silverback. And with me is Tool.
Yo!
We're coming to you full volume, as usual. And this week, you know what, guys? I'm going to have to, I don't ever do this, but in the sense of not wanting to waste anybody's time, I will say that over the last couple shows, I have managed to get myself fully shit-faced drunk by the end of the show, and maybe even lost the point of what I was getting at, and that's why I'm taking this opportunity, having only